Hello, good evening, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this evening. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those really great things. Okay. I wanted to talk about escape singers, Tamika and Latasha Scott. Okay. Of course, we talked about this a little bit the other day. Latasha Scott, who is an ex member of Escape, okay, has a very beautiful voice. But we had the opportunity to see a lot of the shenanigans that went on, in the background, right, as it relates to Escape. One of the best female vocalists of all times. I mean, everybody in that group can harmonize, can sing. I feel like very underrated also, right? But of course, they would break up and get back together, break up and get back together. And Latasha always wanted to blame Candy, right? And so when we got the opportunity years later to start seeing the little reality shows that they started doing, we started to see that Tasha may have issues, right? Tasha may be the problem. Tasha seems very stoic and mean. Um, Even though her voice is one of the better ones. Now, let me just say this. Even though Tasha can sing and she can do the run-ons, my favorite singer in the group has always been her sister, Tamika. Tamika has always been she's always been my favorite. I think that she's always wanted to take a back seat to her sister. We see how things, looking at the reality show, in order to appease her sister, I think she just passively took the back seat to her sister, right? But her voice is actually the better voice, okay? In my opinion. So we saw the shenanigans that went on, and I hate to see sisters and stuff fall out. It's always a bad thing, especially when you was raised up in the house together, to be as close as they were as sisters, okay? In the group. And Tamika was even into it with Candy because she was taking her sister's side, right? She said even though it hurt her financially and all of that, she just defended her sister. She would look like the bad one, defending her sister while her sister sat back and would be quiet, right, and let her do the dirty work. And so I guess Tamika finally opened her eyes, and we got the opportunity to see that play out. And so they haven't spoken in 2 years, right? And Tamika has been on tour with Escape. I even went to the Escape tour. I told y'all I had a lot of fun. And but that's when Latasha was still with them. And they put on a really good show. And so um like I said, we saw everything play out. Latasha says they kicked her out the group. Candy says they didn't kick her out the group. She left the group. And we saw every time that Escape, when they came back together, every time they started to get a buzz, Latasha and her husband would want to jump on the bandwagon of going solo instead of riding that wave of um you know just making money off of Escape, because that's what people wanted to see. Each and every time that she's tried to go solo, it has failed for many, many years. But when they started getting publicity, because Tiny and Candy are the ones that actually know all of these execs, they're the ones that's in the industry. And the sisters basically had not been in the industry, even though they had the better voices, right? It's Tiny and Candy that had the connects. So we saw where even though Latasha reluctantly came back and talked to Candy, you could tell she still didn't like Candy, but she needed her connections. And as soon as they started getting the buzz, she and her husband felt like this is the perfect opportunity to jump off of this train and jump on the solo train. This will be your opportunity. And see, what she did was, and what she always did, as my dad used to always say, I used to love to hear my dad say this, she made a move too quick, right? When my dad would say that, they made the move too fast. Okay. When he would say that, he would mean that a person who thought that they was going to use you, okay, a person who had plans to do you dirty, to undercut you, okay, um, a person who thought that maybe they was going to ride your back to the top or leave you for dead. They made their move too quick, right? And their plan was not cooked. Okay, so it kind of fell through. It always fell through. So it seems to me that every time they got a buzz, she would make a move too quick. And I don't think that it was going to go anywhere anyways. It never did. I think that Escape would have been my main money maker, but she always wanted to be Diana Ross. Okay, she always wanted to be Diana Ross. Unfortunately, with them being a group, that's one of those groups. It's not like Destiny's Child was. Beyonce did more vocals than any of them. She was from the very beginning set up to be the standout star. Escape, everybody was basically the same. Everybody could really, really sing. Okay, so I mean, their voices was just, all of them was just acquired. So Tasha was not set up, even though she has beautiful vocals. It just was not gonna, it was gonna hit different. Okay, it was gonna hit different than like a Beyonce. And so it always just kind of fell through. I mean, the smart thing for her and her husband to do would have been, to talk to the group. This is going to be my main thing. I'm putting all my energy into this. But, if I get some stuff on the side, is that cool? We get our little deals on the side, but this is the main dish. She didn't want to do that. Okay. She wanted to use the connections of Candy, who she couldn't stand, and Tiny to leverage her solo career, and it always fell through. And so we got the opportunity to see how she and her mother, it kind of did her sister down through the years. But I want to play, okay, we saw the song that she put out called Residuals, right? Where she's apologizing to her sister and saying she's wanting the relationship back. And as y'all know, she put out a gospel album when they had gotten a reality show before. They was ready to get a big deal. She felt she made a move too quick then. This is my opportunity, her and her husband says. We're going to jump that track, jump off of this train and jump on another train, a solo train, and it just crashed out. Okay? And from my understanding, her sister Tamika said that was supposed to be, her and her sister was supposed to do a gospel album together. But her and her husband basically undercut her sister. It seems like something they always did, and she took the deal by herself. Okay, and it crashed. Okay, I don't think the songs were pretty good, but it just didn't hit right. But her sister, people were saying that, and I like the song Residuals that she put out, saying, I'm gonna talk to my sister about those residuals, talking about the $30,000 that her sister says that she stole from her, and all of that. She missed her sister, but as everybody was saying, why didn't she just call her sister, right? You don't put it in a song, you don't put it on social media. To me, if you're hurting like that, I'm going knock on my sister damn door. Sister, I love you. Okay, let's have a conversation. Or get the mother, who it seems to me the mother is more like Latasha. So I think they kind of teamed up on Tamika, right? Get somebody in the family to mediate this thing, okay, that is neutral. But she put out a song called Residuals, and everybody was saying, oh, okay, she's reaching out to a sister. I even liked it and had a tear fall out my damn eye. Okay, only to hear her sister Tamika say that it's all just fake for promotion. Okay, her sister was on Ricky Smiley's show. Well, she called into Ricky Smiley's show and
she gonna talk to us about some of the things that are going on, because I actually called her to make sure it was okay, to talk about this.
This is Brad calling Tamika.
Tamika had a little something to say. So, Meatball, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, girl. How are you? How are you?
So I'm good.
So tell me what your reaction is to this, because I called you. I was happy. I was like, everything finna be worked out. And you said,
you know what? My sister's voice is undeniable. You know what I mean? I always said that she was my favorite singer. She's going to always be my favorite singer. She definitely ate vocally.
Yes.
But in real life, I think it's a genius marketing strategy for her new music. It really is. We haven't, talked. She hasn't called me. My number's the same. The address is the same. So if this is real, sis, pull up. I'm cooking now. Pull up. Let's do breakfast. Because the last time I saw her at a family function, I was on the dance floor jamming. Her and my mom walked in, and when they saw me, they walked out. And that kind of touched me a little bit, because I felt like that was the proper. I feel like, we around family. Time. And if any type of reconciliation, I felt like if she probably walked up to me, I probably would have just fell in her arms crying. But her and my mom, they walked out. So listen, my number is the same. My address is the same. Sis, pull up. Let's talk about these residuals. If this is, real, let's talk about the residuals. But it's definitely a great marketing strategy for her new music that's coming out. And she sounds amazing.
She does sound amazing. And when she talked about the residuals, I thought she was talking about what we learned on the show when Rocky had changed the check and took your money or something like that.
Yeah. I thought that too. And I felt it until the end. And it's like, at first my heart was like, oh my gosh, she's singing to me. And at the very end, the way she looked at the camera, like, And I was like, okay.
Oh, this is something else.
Yeah. I felt it until the end, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, just call me. And if she's listening, sis, you got my number. You got my number. You got my address. Pull up. Let's sit down. I'll cook you a good meal. I throw down. Let's sit down. Right. Let's talk about these residuals.
Maybe we can arrange Spirit to meet up with y'all and have a conversation. The therapist that's right there. She's always available and have helped a lot of families come back together. What you say, Brett?
I was going to say, I don't even think Tamika need that. I just feel like Tamika feel like if Tasha was ready to reconcile or fix it, she ready. Like she said, she would have fell into her arms, but they left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was so happy because I thought this was bringing them back together when she did this. I didn't even think about it being for her new music that was coming out. I just thought she was pouring her heart out, Yeah.
Well, Tamika, you think since tomorrow's the last day of Black History Month, she might call the last day?
Hey, is on and she called, I would love to talk to her. The last time, before she changed her number, the last time I heard about the rumors and stuff, I was like, sis, forget what we're going through. I love you. We're going to get through this. I got cussed out. So, and then me and her started going back and forth on the text, and I was like, you know what?
Just forget it.
You know what? At the end of the day, I love you. I love you, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for her. I'm definitely praying for her mental. I'm praying for her, and I love my sister. Hands down. Y'all know I've always protected her.
We know.
And I will continue to protect her. Can't nobody say nothing about her to me. I love her. She ate on this Chris Brown challenge.
She ate. Oh my God. She killed it. I never heard a girl doing it. She killed it. She absolutely killed it. Well, we're going to keep both of y'all in our prayers, man. We love both of y'all, man. Absolutely.
In front of her house the other day. They ain't broke up. I wish that was true.
Oh, wait a minute,
what? She said they ain't broke up.
Like, I had some friends call and say he was jogging in front of the house the other day.
And we have 3 eligible bachelors who are more than adequate for that purpose. Let's meet them.
So, of course, she tried to say that she was broke up from her husband, and she said that in the song, and her sister just said it's a lie. She's not broke up from her husband. Her sister also said that they had a family function. If she wanted to make up with her, she could have been. But when she walked into the family function that they had, her sister and her mother walked out. So now all of a sudden she putting this in a song saying that she want to make up. She just basically just trying to sell records. Okay, she has no intentions of really making up with her sister. I don't know. I don't know if Tasha just black-hearted, she just cold-hearted like that, or her husband makes a fool out of her. But see, her husband, remember I did the video on her husband had been cheating with a woman. And the lady, she's from New Orleans, but she's living in Atlanta, and the lady kind of dropped the bomb on them and expose their relationship and all of that. And then after Latasha put out her gospel album, she was crazy enough to she wanted to save face and say, "My husband and I have an open relationship." Lady, we already know what the gospel people do. We know they bad and do all the nasty. They nastier than, oh, okay, don't get me started. But still they want to try to save face. You just put out a gospel album. You don't go and say that we have an open relationship, okay? But at any rate, I wish that they could, get it together. I wish that they could get it together and Tasha get back in the group, because I definitely want to hear her voice. Tamika does a good job, but I want to hear her voice. The thing about it is Tasha thinks she Diana. She even though her voice is beautiful, many might say her voice is the best. She ain't nothing without the rest of them. Because everybody has their picks in a group. That's what make a group successful. Okay. And evidently, a lot of people are not picking her like that, okay, by herself. They like her with Escape. They're not going to support a solo album. So I would think that she would have woke up by now. I don't know. It hadn't worked in over 20 years. I don't understand why it has not hit yet. That they just need to get it right, invest the time in Escape, stop trying to use them to leverage a solo career and get behind backdoor deals, cutting them out. That's her and her husband doing. So, hey, seems like to me, because her husband is doing his own thing, it seems to me at this point, they've been together for over 30 years. He probably just trying to get what he can get at this point and move on. But it's not working out. So Tasha need to open her eyes and do what's best for herself, and that is, make her money with Escape, because them girls making money, and leave the solo stuff alone. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about that. I've always been very interested in this story. Okay. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.